Welcome to Bronyville. This is Bronyville episode number 81, recorded on November 16th, 2012. I am your host, Apple Cider. Hello! Good to see all of you. It's a drizzly November day here in the Bay Area for me. But, you know, we got ponies to talk about, which is good. Sunshiny, happy ponies. Hey, Sandy.
Hey.
How are you?
It's a nice, pretty day out here in Texas.
Really? Is it still a bazillion degrees?
60.
No? Well, you're getting better.
Still wearing shorts, because, I mean, what the heck?
Why not? Have to change up your clothes. Why would you do that?
Shorts year-round, nothing else.
Sure. Why not? Hey, Mitty.
Hello.
Midnight Shadow back in here, being all European, staying up
very,
late
very
for
British.
us. How late is it right now?
10 p.m. and pitch black.
That happens at night, especially. Except you're way up north, so it's gonna. Do you get any of those periods of like absolute blackness during the day, like just very little sunlight?
If in the middle of winter you're lucky enough so that you wake up in the dark and drive to work in the dark, and you sit in your cubicle at work, and then you trudge home in the dark, and you get home and it's dark. So, yeah.
The
sun does come up, but it's more of a kind of legend at that point.
Our children once heard of a mythical orb in the sky.
Yeah, basically Luna's just taken over up here and is cackling madly for 6 months of the year or something.
Yeah, think about
that. It's
that.
pretty bad.
She gets all the benefit. Yeah, I wonder, they just do a swap. It's just like, all right, all sunlight, all moonlight, all sunlight, all moonlight. Interesting. All right, well, we got Mitty on. We've got all this. We've got Pinkies to talk about. A few.
Yep.
Definitely more than one. Also, we're going to have a very special guest coming in a few minutes. Amy Keating Rogers, writer of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic and current writer for Care Bears Welcome to Care-a-Lot, will be on to talk about it. Yep, Mitty is so excited. He's going to have to hold himself back from trying to pimp his fanfics.
I'm not going to do that.
You're
that
not
would
gonna
be so wrong.
It would. It totally would. But yeah, we're going to have that, and looking forward to that a great deal. But first, we've got some stuff that we need to get through. Mitty, we just need to double check with you since you are our celebrity talent for the time being. We'll get to Amy in just a little bit. I have to find out and check up on you. Favorite character, favorite episode?
Right now, I'm still coming down off the Pinkie high, so it has to be Pinkie.
Ooh.
And Pinkie, though, I have to say, the episode has an incorrect name because there can never be too many Pinkies.
I think there were too many Pinkies. I kind of think there may have been too many Pinkies. No, calm it.
Fun.
It's going to be an ongoing thing this episode, I can just see.
There were too many Pinkies.
Just a few
too many.
All right, well, that's good, Mitty. We can move on. Hey, Sandy, we got a sponsor back.
Yay, we got We Love Fine back. Huzzah.
They love us again.
We're validated. We're a legitimate show. You can use our coupon code Bronyville10 and get 10% off purchases at We Love Fine. They have been adding a whole bunch of brand new goodies. They're also doing a Black Friday sale.
Mm-hmm.
Let me find that.
Yes, they have a secret Black Friday sale. Looks like stuff's going to be hitting, especially on Monday. So keep an ear out. But supposedly there are going to be a great number of deals, a great number of giveaways. I believe that we're going to have codes at some point to drum up support. So find out see what, do you have anything on it right now, Sandy Face?
They are looking, they haven't actually given us the code.
Yeah, well, they said it might have been till Monday, so. Yeah, Cyber Monday, so we may get a code. What I'd say is just go ahead and check us out. We'll do this. Go and friend me and Sandy on Twitter. Be our Twitter friends, and we will do some sort of giveaway on our Twitter streams on Monday to go ahead and give out any of these codes that are out there. So do that. Check it out. We Love Fine. They're going to be having a big sale coming up the next few days, so go check that out, and that's over at welovefine.com. I'm going to need to get me a hoodie soon.
Yeah.
It's gonna get cold.
Yep.
All right. And what is our other sponsor there, Sandy?
The Las Pegasus Unicon are working with us to do some panels and whatnot. They are still trucking along as February approaches, and their website apparently is not working right now. Maybe their website fell over. I was going to look at it. So, hey, their website's down. I can't tell you much about it.
But it's a big convention.
There we go.
Oh, there you go. Refreshed.
So they're currently bringing in Tara Strong, Amy Keating Rogers, John Delancey, and Daniel Ingram.
Hey,
And they are
AKR,
working-
she's on our show today.
Wow.
Relevant. I'm going to add that to the thing. I hope to see you in Las Vegas. Let's hang out in Las Vegas at Unicon. AKR. Sound good? I'm actually putting this on the doc. Cool. All right. Sandy hasn't slept since last week. Ouch.
Oh, I have slept since last week. That's the thing. You know, you sleep and then the memory just goes away.
Nah, it's fine. All right, so Las Pegasus Unicon, you can find that at LasPegasusUnicon.com. Dude, it's going to be an awesome convention, it looks like. Looking forward to it a great deal, so go ahead and hit that up. That's going to be fun. All right, Sandy Face, we had more pony this convention, or this today. Fandom not on fire?
Phantom status, not on fire.
Cool. Awesome.
Going into the news, though, GAC features are down 90% since last week. There were only 2 commercials during this episode. I don't know. I mean, they're going to lose so much market share now that they're not going GAC, GAC, GAC every single commercial break.
I saw the GAC color mixer today, and I was kind of like, that seems like a great way to eventually throw out all of your GAC.
Yeah, it's just going to go and be this sort of beige lump.
I was like,
that's what it's for.
Yeah, it seems like a great idea until you just go, oh, hey, check it out. All of my GAC is now a uniform nasty blob. Oh boy, time to go buy more GAC. Oh god, I see their marketing plan.
I will say, though, that the cuddle-uppets, the puppet things, those are terrifying.
Someone was mentioning in a stream that if the people who are making the puppet the pillows, the foldable pillows, if they could make pony pillows, all the money. Done. Like, just...
Oh, definitely.
God, all the money. Just Fluttershy pillow hug, sleep, done.
Celestia blanket, done.
So,
all right.
Only 2 commercials. So let's see what we got.
All right. So season 3, in case y'all forgot, was last week.
Ooh.
And according to their internal metrics, season 3 of My Little Pony Friendship Magic was the highest ever season premiere for any show.
Ever? Or just on the hub?
The best ever season premiere on the hub.
Okay.
Obviously. Don't be silly for the AC. Come
on.
I
wanted to qualify. I was just like, wow, Ethan, stick it to Walking Dead or something. Just be like, no, everyone watches a pony.
Yes, it was a big premiere by kids 2 to 11, 327,000. Kids 6 to 11, 154,000. Women 18 to 49, 80,000. Adults 18 to 49, which is us. 146,000, and persons 2 plus 578,000. I guess they just roll everybody into the persons 2 plus. I don't know. Bottom line, things are good, and Hub's happy with ponies because we're happy with ponies. Ponies are great.
I wonder if 2 plus is like households with more than one person watching, or maybe it is just that very well could be everyone. Yeah, looking at that,
and they're saying they're seeing some very large gains among all the demographics. So that's really good to hear.
I'm actually starting to hear people talk about the hub in a way that they're interested in what's actually on it beyond ponies. Like the Transformers show that's out there. Of course,
Transformers Prime's pretty cool.
It's received won an Emmy. It's been critically praised. People outside have been like, dude, the Transformers Prime is awesome, they're saying. I've heard some people, another podcast I listened to was kind of like, yeah, I love the hub because it's all about, it has a lot of these, it has a lot of shows that are in reruns, but they'll actually show the rerun shows in sequential order.
Oh, yeah. They got Batman the Animated Series. They got Batman Beyond. I really like Aquabat Super Show when I can catch it because it's just really wacky and out there. The hub is actually getting a little bit better, which is good.
That's good. It sounds like it's actually starting to drum up some interest outside, and I take a little bit of pride in going like, yeah, we were helping out, during the fledgling early stage.
The question from the chat asking if the first 5 episodes of Transformers Prime are bad. Not really. I mean, they're all one big package altogether. I didn't think they were bad.
Maybe give it a shot again. Some shows warm up. I mean, if you go back and look at the first few episodes of Ponies, it took a little warming up.
Yeah.
You go back and look at those first few episodes and you're just kind of like, it took them a little bit to get into the groove. It wasn't really, until winter wrap up that we were like, ho, 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 the poison is deep. So, all right, well, that's good. So it looks like the hub is on their way, and nothing better than seeing that channel actually take off. So that's great. All right, what we got? We got comic news.
Yes, indeed. We got some original My Little Pony Friendship's Magic comic arts coming up for auction. Andy Price is putting some stuff up. Had numerous questions about selling original pages of My Little Pony. Let's let you know the 4 pages have already been previewed. First issue will be going up for eBay starting Sunday night for a 10-day auction. See, that was posted today. So if you're listening to it now and are listening to it Wednesday, you can still take a look. And they are get your chance to get some original pony comic things.
That's cool. I'll check those out as long as the price doesn't go up to something like super crazy. That might be something I'll be interested in. I had a fan actually point me to Midtown Comics because I brought up the point last week that I really wanted to purchase some of the comic books, but did not want to actually go out and purchase them locally because there are none near me. And Midtown Comics has the regular cover, the box set, the Jill Thompson cover, the exclusive Amy Miberson, Stephanie Buscema, and then the exclusive variant cover #1 and a cover signed by Katie Cook. So they have a bunch that you can choose from there. I am getting a few of the Derp-Eyed Mare comic books, probably to use as stuff for the show. So that'll be great.
They know they're in their secondary audience.
Yes, they do. Derp-Eyed Mare, you are the best mare. Yes, you are.
And in further good news, there is a second pony comic coming up, focusing on the individual ponies of the main 6.
Ooh.
That is coming up after issue 4 in February. And the first book of the micro series will be Twilight Sparkle.
Woohoo!
So after the first arc of My Little Pony Friendship's Magic comic, there's also mini-series focusing on each of the ponies.
This will go into the deep, dark, twisted backstory of Twilight Sparkle.
Yes,
Good
how
one say
did she
is
become
about.
such a powerful sorceress in so little time? Did she consume the soul of Star Swirl the Bearded?
No.
No.
She did it
She
through hard
hoarded.
work and determination.
And not finding his skull and draining his power.
No, not at all.
This isn't...
Oh, it's terrible.
Don't say that. Amy's listening, maybe.
That's what happened in WoW.
Oh.
That's why Illidan got so bad.
Oh.
Skull of Gul'dan.
Oh, you're right.
Right.
Did she put on the armor of of the Shattered Throne? And never mind.
Then at the very end, she takes Deathwing's jaw, and because must always be a Deathwing.
What?
I want to see that now. That has to be a fanfic now. Oh man.
Oh boy, there is a World of Warcraft pony fanfic. I read a little bit of it and just went, I don't know how I feel about this. Just arms on hips, just like Yeah, that's silly, but it's good stuff. All right, moving on. Hey, are you in the Florida? Do you like Friendship is Magic? Good news.
Because Animate Miami has gotten themselves a handful of My Little Pony Friendship's Magic guests. And this website's being really slow.
Oh no. Thank you.
Yeah, just a moment ago it was fast. Now it's kind of gone. Thunk.
There we go. So, Animate Miami is a con that is taking place in January 18th to the 20th, when we will be out in the Bay Area. And it is featuring Andrea Lemon, Nicole Oliver, Peter New, Monica Rial, Brittany Kabowski, John Swayze, Maggie Fleckino, Mark X. Zakowski, Leraldo Anzalda. Not quite sure. But the big draws, obviously, for us are Andrea Lemon, Nicole Oliver, and Peter New, who I guess you guys might know who they are. So
Peter New, isn't he that lemur in Littlest Pet Shop?
Yep. And other stuff too.
Yep.
So that's pretty cool. And unfortunately, this is kind of it runs up against some unfortunate news that another con that was aimed for the same weekend, Winter Moon Atlanta, has been canceled. They ran up against some just really bad timing and ran out of time. In the convention business, when you sign a contract, you only have so long until you start taking some pretty severe penalties for cancellation. And with things not quite working out, they had to back out before they started owing vast quantities of money.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't blame them.
Yeah. Then the sad thing is that I know the team that I've worked with, the team that we're actually going to be putting on Winter Moon, and they had it all set. They were. It was just a period of just not enough time, and Hasbro is in a little bit of, it sounds like they're in a little bit of lockdown mode and not interacting with the community as much right now. So when they need to knock on the door to ask Hasbro if they could have individuals come to the convention, Hasbro wasn't, answering. So, that's just kind of the situation of business, of how they want to interact with us, and that it unfortunately caused that this convention just wasn't able to push on. They're going to be trying and working with either to build a convention later on next year, and or we know that one of them is going to be helping out with SandyCon.
Yep.
So get to look forward to that. So yeah, that's unfortunate on that. I love Atlanta because it is my hometown, and hope that I get a PonyCon up there. But yeah, sorry to see Winter Moon not hit it, but such is business sometimes.
Yes. As one of our people in the chat has gone, well, in this case, my co-chair of Nightmare Nights Dallas is like, SandyCon? No. But we are still working on that, and we don't really have anything to announce beyond we've spent 3 months, and we're kind of in the same boat in terms of Hasbro communications. So we'll let you know when there's anything to really shout up from the rooftops about.
Yep, it's rough right now trying to get official staff.
Thankfully, we're aiming at November 2013, so we have a few months.
Yeah, the Winter Moon unfortunately had the difficulty of pretty much trying to get off the ground in about 4 months time. So right now it's a bit of a different, a little bit harder pull than it would normally be. So.
But that'll be in Addison, Texas, November 7th through 11th, 2013, if everything goes as planned.
All right, moving on. Another convention news.
BronyCon. It's moved.
Oh, no.
Again. So they are moved themselves down to Baltimore.
You mean Baltimore?
Yeah.
I saw what
Baltimore. They're having it at the Baltimore Convention Center, which apparently is freaking huge. It is the place that they have one of those what anime con was it? I forget. Basically, it's an enormous convention center that can hold way more than 4,000 people. And if you are in that part of the country and want to go to a really huge Brony gathering, odds are you'll want to go to BronyCon.
Mm-hmm.
They have announced their date of being August 2nd through the 4th of 2013. So yeah.
Yep.
The registration is going to be $75 at the door, 70 pre-reg online. Early bird rate of 65 is only good until
isn't good anymore.
Isn't good anymore apparently, or
So
that's just really badly worded. Yeah, it's looking really huge. It's also looking to be really kind of expensive. But, venues like this are not cheap.
Yep.
And that looks like it's going to be one heck of a venue.
And the good thing is that it is a 3-day convention this time. So that is one of the big pulls on that. I'm actually interested to look and see the area around the Baltimore Convention Center because it might be a better area as well. I will say that I would pin us as tentative for BronyCon. As said with the usual stuff and the spiel that I usually put at the end of the show, sometimes it is harder for a show like ours to get, the coverage that we'd really love to do at these conventions. So if you are planning on going to BronyCon, if you are planning on hitting that up, please send an email or contact some of the individuals that are running the convention and say, you love our show, you love what we do, you think that we would be awesome on stage talking to some of these awesome individuals like we are going to do in just a moment. And see if you can get us a little bit of coverage out there. What you can do for us makes us give you that much better content on our show, and it shows, and we put our love into this, and we'd love to give you the best show and the best quality things every single week. So please reach out to to this convention, to BronyCon, or any convention, and please tell them that you love our show and that you would want us to be there. So looking forward to that. All right, that is all the news that is fit the news. Besides the fact that I'm still playing the iOS game, or not the iOS game, but the Android game. And my username is Bronyville on the thing. Anyway.
So fanfics.
Yes, fanfics. I don't have any this week. I know I'm terrible. Moving on.
You don't actually read. Hey, see, are you illiterate?
I just listened. I have you read to me, Sandy. I'm sorry. I can't have this lie anymore. I can't live this lie.
I'm gonna have to send you to those lessons that Twilight offered. Tell you what.
That's a shame.
All right, so I do have a book this week. It's fanfic. It is titled "The Sisters Do" by Pinkie. It is Daring Do is actually the sister of Ditzy Do, and is a real character. Is a real pony in the world, and Rainbow Dash is a horrible fangirl to her over the course of the adventure. So it looks like it's a good read. Chapters are all very small, bite-sized chunks. 73,509 words, 15 chapters, and incomplete. But looks like a pretty good read if you need some funny adventure ponies. And who doesn't need that?
All right, Mitty, what do you got?
Well, it's actually written by a friend of mine, Blue Shift, who does the amazing crack ships you've often hopefully read about. And his story is he's actually changed the name, I think, at one point. Life is a Lemon. It's about lemon dreams, a pony with an otherwise happy life, except for one thing. She's a lemon. You have to read this story to have any clue what is going on. So, read it. It's weird.
After today's episode, that's maybe not as unreasonable. Another one of those spells goes off, hits a pony, orange pony done. Uncle Orange now.
It explains a lot. Yes.
Uncle Orange becomes an actual thing. All right. Let's see. Just about to call you, Amy. There we go. All right, well, let's go ahead and move this forward. It's topic time, and you know what that means. I'm going to go ahead and hit this big green button that says add to conference call on Skype.
My goodness.
So get your body prepared there, Mitty.
It's not prepared.
Yeah, well, there we go. Amy Keating Rogers coming onto the horn right now. Let's see how this goes.
Oh.
Hey, Amy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Yourself? Glad to have you on the show today.
I'm super, thank you.
Oh, that's awesome to hear. So yes, everyone, Amy Keating Rogers. I'll just go through the quick little bio here that we have for you. Writer of such shows as Powerpuff Girls, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, The Fairly Odd Parents, and Johnny Bravo. You wrote for 11 episodes of Friendship is Magic, with a few episodes to include Applebuck Season, Fall Weather Friends, The Best Night Ever, Cutie Pox, and The Last Roundup is a few of those. And currently editor for the Care Bears Welcome to Care-a-Lot show.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, store editor for Care Bears.
Excellent. Very, very happy to have you on today. That is great. We've got the entire chat, I'm sure, is just cheering and look at all those claps and celebration that you're getting. They're all very happy to see you here with us this week, and it's great to have you on.
Thanks. It's very nice to be here. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
The pleasure is all ours. We have a billion little questions here. We have been clamoring for, I would have to say, since pretty much we started the show, of trying to get one of the writers from the show on, because
really,
if there is anything that we celebrate or think that really sets the show apart, is the fact of how it's written and the way that it can smartly illustrate things that are technically for children, yet still make it approachable for, this whole fandom and for all of us, with really smart jokes, kind of the Pixar effect.
Right. Absolutely. I mean, the team that was put together, you have Lauren heading it, obviously, and she came from this world of Powerpuff and Foster's, and we always made sure that we wrote things that would amuse us as grown-ups, as much as things that would make the kids laugh. But, for the adults that were then watching the show with their kids, that's definitely part of what we always tried to do with our writing. We like to laugh too. So we figured if we were laughing at it, hopefully the kids would be laughing at it too, but then there was always this other level that adults would get.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually really, really amazing to it's kind of one of the strange things that when you look and you figure out, you look at what most writing is for kids shows, and you look at what a lot of these kids are actually able to process. It's actually remarkable how much more you can actually give them, and they'll actually receive and understand.
Absolutely. Yeah. We never talk down to kids. We never treat them like they're not bright. I always assume that kids are smart and that they will pick up on things, and that's how kids learn, and that's how I always treated my own children. So why not treat the children of the world that way as well? Excellent.
Well, it's great to have you on. We've got so many questions for you, and we'll try not to overwhelm you with our time, and of course not get spoilerific or to encroach into areas of which you cannot tell.
Well, you're kind of lucky with me because I did not write on season 3.
Correct.
So, I don't really have a lot of spoilers that I could even do anything.
That is true.
So yeah, I noticed somebody on Twitter said, ask her if anything was cut. It was Black Widower. Said, ask her if anything was cut from the premiere. And the thing, I have no idea. I'm the wrong person to ask on that one. Megan would be able to answer that one, but I am in the dark.
Well, and there are definitely some benefits to that, because you end at season 2, kind of moving onward on that. So really your experience is all inside of those. So we got plenty of stuff here. As you may have heard at the beginning of the show, we do have a requirement for anyone that we are going to have on the show, and this one's going to be very, very tough for you, I have to warn, because it's going to require you to choose your favorite children, and that is, we need to know who is, of the show, your favorite character, and what is your favorite episode.
Okay, well, for me, I have two favorites that I like to write for.
Okay.
And number one would be Pinkie. And that's because she's just so goofy, and I'm able to kind of let my kookiness fly there, because my brain is very bizarre and weird, and I think silly things all the time. And so I'm able to, live vicariously through Pinkie by being able to write for her and put all of my goofiness into her. And then, kind of similarly but different, I also say lots of corny things all the time, lots of just like old-fashioned things. And so Applejack is also a lot of fun for me to write, because I grew up watching reruns of I Love Lucy, and so I'm able to channel through Applejack, putting in things that they used to say on I Love Lucy, which I watched so many times that it's just kind of in my regular speak to say really old-fashioned things. So yes, exactly. Somebody just put nuts and chews. Yes, nuts and chews is something I actually do say in my regular life. And I don't know if I got to have Applejack say, "Here's your hat, what's your hurry?" But if I didn't, I wish I could have. But just so those two kind of speak to me, speak to parts of me. So that's cool. So that I wrote, or in general?
Well, I mean, either one. But since you came up with a double answer there for your favorite characters, why not we go favorite that you've wrote and then favorite that you know from the show?
Okay. I really, writing, because of Pinkie, writing A Friend Indeed was a blast, because Pinkie just went, crazy in that, and got to totally mess with Cranky Doodle Donkey. And I got to write a song. I got to write numbers of songs in that. I got to do the Smile song, and then once it was decided that his name was Cranky Doodle Donkey, immediately my brain went to the Yankee Doodle Dandy song, obviously, and so that was fun to come up with those lyrics. And then her doing things like, shooting stuff at, stomping on his toupee, shooting stuff at him, just all of her ridiculousness made that very fun. And then I really enjoyed, I think Cindy wrote it, Hurricane Fluttershy. Mm-hmm. I thought it was really, really fun on an episode that, one that I didn't write. I thought she did a fantastic job on that.
Yeah, those two are both very, very great episodes. I actually went back. I admit that I hadn't watched much of season 2, picked up Hurricane Fluttershy, and went, wow, this actually is a very good episode.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it's very impactful, so it's great. Okay, so let's do this. Let's hit the basics first. The grand questions of how'd you get here, you getting into writing, specifically in the show writing, and then the step up into Friendship is Magic. So just take me from when you were a little girl till now.
When I was a little girl, I wanted to be an actress. I very specifically wanted to be a child actress, but my mom was fine with me being an actress, but she said you need to get an education. So I did not become a child actor, but I did become an actor. I acted in high school, in the school plays. I then went to Occidental College and studied theater, and I focused on acting there. And then I went to graduate school at Cal Arts and got my MFA in acting there. In my senior year of college, I actually took a playwriting class because I had run out of courses to take in theater. I had fulfilled my major, but I still needed to take stuff. So I took a playwriting class. I was going to drop it, and my teacher said, "No, I won't let you because you're going to be good at this." And it turns out he was very, very right. So I started writing plays. And so when I was at Cal Arts, I also was writing plays, and my first play was produced at Oxy, and then 3 or 4 of my plays were produced at Cal Arts. Then I graduated from Cal Arts and pursued an acting career, which means I had odd jobs while I tried to pursue an acting career. I was a member of a theater company and was doing plays, and I was also an operator at a place called 1-800-DENTIST, which they have here in a number of states, where people call a call center and get referred to a dentist. I was getting a little tired of that job, and I had a friend from Cal Arts who was, I'm pretty sure she was a producer. I don't know what her title was, but she was working at Hanna-Barbera Cartoons. And she said, hey, would you like to be a production assistant on Johnny Bravo? And so I started as a PA on Johnny Bravo, and I eventually moved to being a PA on the Girls. And I was a production assistant on Powerpuff, a play that I wrote being produced in Hollywood. So, writer, because I was putting posters up and saying, come and see my play. And they struggles with the writing on Powerpuff. The day Craig McCracken was going to approach me about writing was the day I approached him, and they gave me a shot writing for Powerpuff. And I freelanced for a bit, and then I became head writer of the show, and then I just kind of got passed along from show on Cartoon Network, which is how a lot of us worked. It was, it was this kind of fake people that we went from Powerpuff to Dexter's Lab to Samurai Jack to Foster's, and that's, the character designers, the storyboard artists, you just all these people, you hung out together and moved from show to show, which was amazing and fantastic. And during that time, I met the lovely Lauren Faust on Powerpuff Girls, and so we became friends, and we worked on Powerpuff together and Foster's together. And I began freelancing instead of working in-house at Cartoon Network. Lauren approached me actually at the Foster's wrap party. She came up to me and said, I'm pitching this new version of My Little Pony to Hasbro, and if it gets picked up, I would love for you to write on it. And I said, yes. So once that did get picked up, she contacted me and already come up with the basic story of the pilot, but he and this wonderful, amazing, talented man named Paul Rudish, so me, Paul Rudish, and Lauren got together and really beat out the entire story, figuring out all of the details of it, and then I got to write a sheet. Lauren had written an 11-minute version of Ticketmaster, but decided later that the show would be a 22-minute. So I was busy writing the pilot, and I then fleshed out, we had a meeting and figured out, okay, how do we make this 11-minute a 22-minute? I wrote, I used her script and added extra stuff so that we co-wrote Ticketmaster, and then I just kind of continued on from there.
So the actual show itself was originally just pitched as an 11-minute show and got kicked up to 22?
I think that's true. I don't take, the law. She might have just written a minute kind of as a sample. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we dig it, but we want, I wasn't in on those meetings, so I can't say, this is lore or anything like that. Okay. But specifically was an 11-minute at that point, and then became a 22.
So then this brings up a good point, and it's something that we can actually bring up. There's been some rumblings around. I think it was a little bit through last season that we heard a lot of rumblings about the lore Bible and everything that was out there, and we kind of have what can be said. What can be said that is related to that. When you went into the particular show, how in depth was that with you and Lauren and the other producers on the show? I mean, there's so many like little bits and pieces of all the art, like the architecture of particular areas look a particular way, and there's so much care given in little particular areas. I'm kind of curious, like how detailed, how minute did those details get, in opposed to writing the show, and perhaps even in the difference between this show and other shows that you've done?
Well, Lauren's Bible was fantastic, and one of the best Bibles I still have ever read. Because Lauren is an incredibly talented artist, she had art in there. She had drawn all of the ponies. She had drawn, sketches Cloudsdale and Ponyville, and I'm trying to think if there were any of Equestria, but she kind of showed what all of those various worlds look like. At least the first ones that she was thinking of, involved there. She went through the main in detail, and which was fantastic. So when I was jumping into scripts, a very good idea of who these ponies were. These are Earth ponies, these are Pegasus ponies, these are unicorns, and it explained that. She went into that. Lots of people have. Was there a lot of detail about Celestia and Luna? And no, there wasn't a lot of detail about that. It was much more, because the show was much more pitched as something about, it was about Twilight and her journey of learning about friendship. So on those main six.
Well, that's actually very interesting, because I think if there's anything that the fans seem to always clamor for a lot is like wondering about, the back history of everything, of like, that they try and piece together as like, all right, Discord was a while back, and then there's Luna being changed to the Nightmare Moon. It's all clamoring to figure out what got to the events of today, and I think that's kind of what drives a lot of people. I wouldn't say nuts, but it's just like they can tell that there's this perception that there's so much lore that's been built in that could be pretty much accessed at any time. It further kind of adds to the visage of the whole world in itself.
I mean, when we talked about the pilot, we did talk a lot about Celestia and Luna and Nightmare Moon and all of that. And we went, in that story meeting about, it wasn't in the Bible, but we did talk a lot about it. And Lauren had a lot of it just in her head. She knew where she wanted to take things as far as jumping off and just the legend of it all. She had a very firm grasp of that.
Okay, well, that's very cool. So, man, maybe that will be something. I mean, it already looks like with season 3, the production team is already doing some other interesting things with the backstory. So maybe they'll see if they're going to continue to bait us on with some new stuff related to that.
Yeah, I think as as a world grows, as you're writing all of this, you have to say, okay, what's the next thing that we can bring in that'll build upon this world, and because there have to be other threats perils that are coming up, so it's just a matter of building upon what the foundation is.
Okay, yeah, that sounds perfectly fine, and I could see also how overly defining stuff earlier on, things that you may or may not get to, could actually end up tripping you up later on. Perhaps trying to make sure that you're not incorporating too many plot holes and you're trying to keep everything consistent.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let's see. We got some other things to do. Do either of you two, Mitty or Sandy, do you have any questions you want to go ahead and hit up?
Oh, I imagine Mitty has quite a few. He hasn't,
Oh, I have so many. I'm just trying not to talk over the.
Go ahead. I will leave this. Midnight is one of our resident writer friends, as well as one of the collaborators over on Equestria Daily. When he heard that we were going to have you on, he was so excited. So Midnight, go. We will give you some time with Amy if she will humor us for a bit.
Absolutely.
Well, we do have a lot of questions here, so I'm just not sure which ones are.
Well,
we should go back over.
Well, because choose your favorites there, Midnight. This is your time to shine.
Well, mostly it's about actually world building, which you guys have you've talked a little bit about it already, but it's like there's a lot of these one-shot gags, which for us writers, we do spend a lot of time actually creating backstory, which we're quite aware can be nixed at any moment. And in fact, I think we had that with when season 1 became season 2. There's a lot of stuff that changed again between. I think it's basically how Equestria was formed, and now the joke is, and that was how Equestria was made. That we've actually got, and then we moved on to the appearance of cadets in shining armor that changed the Royal Guard around. And we've also had fun stuff like Pinkie's party cannon and the Pinkie swear. I mean, it's the question is, it's like when you say Bible, we get this picture of this, guilt-bound book of secrets that's this, exploding with stuff. What actually is the shape of the Bible, and how do you get an idea like Pinkie's party cannon to promote from a one-shot gag into something which actually is a bona fide part of the world? And how much access do you have to say, okay, this is now going to be in there?
I mean, a show Bible, it's a pitch Bible. You're putting together something that present to the studio and say, this would be a really good show. So you've gone through and described the characters and described the world and pitched, maybe 4 or 5 episode ideas. So they go, okay, I get that this could be a show and these characters, like Ticketmaster was in the show Bible, Dog and Pony show, that story idea was there, Applebuck season was in there, and I'm not remembering all of them. It's not. It's the funny. The Powerpuff Girls Bible actually did say Holy Bible on it, but it's your groundwork. So not every single detail can be in there, because then, frankly, the show might never get made. Like Pinkie's party cannon. I'm not. What episode did that show up in first?
Somewhere in season 2, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can't recall. I'm sure our fans are going to start yelling it real quick. They'll all figure it out because they know. Sweet and Elite, they're done. Look at that.
There you go.
The benefit of fans.
Okay, and who
that
wrote?
Was fantastic. Yeah.
Next question. I know I didn't.
Yeah. So who wrote that? Let's see.
I'd have to Google it to be able to find out. I can't remember off the top of my head.
They'll figure it out real quick. By the way, Tetra drew you a picture a little earlier. I'll link it in the chat. That way you can see. He's one of our resident artist friends who likes to contribute to those. So I'll make sure you get a picture of the little link that he sent.
Yeah, because I remember you're talking to a bunch of fans who most people, and me included, have no idea how the showbiz world actually works. I mean, for me as a writer, when I write as a story, but obviously the show itself is in screenplay format. So do you write stories or screenplays or both, or do you start as ideas, and how do you push those ideas around? Probably a team. I guess you must. I mean, you've talked about having big design meetings with other writers and staff.
Canon thing first. The thing is, seasons 1 and 2, anytime a writer would write a script, it was sent out to all the other writers. And I would always read the scripts because I needed to see what other people, it's very, very new. I needed to see what other people were doing with these characters and what I could pull and build on as far as character development. So, that happens. And you have all of the amazing people at DHX who, they know, we know what we've written, but then they add a bunch of things when it goes to storyboard. And so they, I think kind of they have their own little check mark of things of what can we pull in and make sure that things are consistent. For instance is Cindy Morrow wrote, it's Read It and Weep, correct? That where Daring Do shows up?
Yes.
I believe so, yes.
Yep.
Okay. Cindy wrote this with Daring Do. And I don't think I actually read that episode. But then in A Friend Indeed, Pinkie goes to the library to talk to Twilight and Rainbow Dash, bemoaning that that Cranky won't smile for her. And Rainbow Dash is sitting there reading a Daring Do book. That's something that the storyboard artists added later because they knew what had been storyboarded in Cindy's episode. And so they kept that consistency there because they that. So that's what they chose to have Rainbow Dash. So that's, it's all, it's the writers paying attention, and it's also the storyboard artists. It just everybody kind of works together. As far as how a story meeting works, in this show, we would get our story idea. Well, let's back up a bit. We had some big brainstorming meetings where, however many writers came in, like 6 writers, and Rob and Lauren were there, and you just kind of spitball ideas and toss them around and say, what if Fluttershy did this? What if Applejack did that? And, we tried to have friendship episodes, and we tried to have adventure episodes, and try and make sure that there was a mixture in there.
Yeah.
For seasons 1 and 2, then Rob and Lauren would take kind of those spitballing ideas and choose the best, and they prep ideas, which were sent to the network over, tweak it this way or that way. You then, the writer sent, a prep saying, hey, would you like to, sometimes you get a couple options, but sometimes it's, hey, do you want to write this episode, or this is your episode, and you go, okay. And then it was meeting with Rob and Lauren. And the way they worked is they put index cards up on a big blank wall, separating Act 1, 2, and 3 with the teaser at the beginning of Act 1. And you go through and you beat out the entire story, making sure everything is very complete. So making sure you have cliffhangers at the end of Acts 1 and 2, making sure at the end of Act 3 you have that lesson in there, and putting jokes in and doing that. Once that's done, you take down all the cards. I would come home and I would write an outline, which just the story without dialogue of what's happening. And it's broken down into Acts 1, 2, and 3, and you tell that whole story. And it gets sent to first gets sent to Rob and Lauren, and they give you notes. Then it gets sent to the network, and they send you notes, or they hopefully approve it. And then once it's approved, you then write a script a la, like a screenplay formatted. Yeah. And you go through, you have a first draft, second draft, polish. And so that's how that works.
Wow. That's incredibly complicated. But I mean, you can see the amount of work that goes into the show, so I'm not surprised.
A lot of work goes in.
Well,
the writers are writing. We're all freelance writers, and the writers are all in Los Angeles versus the show is made in Canada. So once we're writing on our own, we are on our own. It's not, hey, let me go down the hall and talk to Cindy and try and figure out this joke, because Cindy isn't down the hall. So we're all in our homes or in coffee shops or wherever we happen to write. So that's, and being an in-house writer, where if you're stumped, you can go and talk to somebody else. And you also don't, everybody in a room and read the script, and you try and punch up jokes. I've worked on shows that are like that, where you take the script and then everybody just goes through and says, oh, how could this be funnier or that be funnier? So the story job is to go through the script and make sure everybody's on character, make sure that it's as good and strong and funny as it can be, and things can change there, but that's that person's job, and then it gets passed on to the story. You can also add lots of wonderful funny things.
Sandy, your go.
Well, I think thank you very much for enlightening us on the process of the show, because we're fans, and there's a lot of work that goes into this, and the more we know, the better we can appreciate it. One thing, the reason we had you on, in addition to showering with praise and all that, is to talk about your documentary and your Kickstarter, Jason Bateman Thinks I'm Dead.
Yes.
So, are you dead, and why do people think so?
Very fortunately, not dead. However, I went, some people might know who Jason Bateman is. Jason Bateman is an actor, and he's well known for a show called Arrested Development. But before he was on that show, years and years earlier, he and I went to elementary school together. And In third grade, we were kind of boyfriend and girlfriend, and we kissed. In fourth grade, we had kind of broken up, and I was tragically heartbroken. And in fifth grade, during my fifth grade year, I had terrible headaches. And between the summer after my fifth grade year, before my sixth grade year, they discovered that I had a brain tumor in my head. So right before sixth grade, I had brain surgery and the tumor was removed, and thankfully it was benign. And,
Wow.
yeah. So I went back to school in sixth grade, and Jason actually wasn't there. So he had started his acting career. He was on a show called Little House on the Prairie.
A little show called Little House.
I missed that. Sorry.
Just a little show called Little House on the Prairie. The PBS beloved Little House on the Prairie.
Was he Jim Bob or something?
He I show whose character is, but the Walton, the Ingalls ended up adopting him and his sister. Tragic wagon accident where his parents were killed. James. Anyhow, so Jason was busy acting, and this one day, my phone rang, and I answered the phone, and it was Jason, and he said, "I heard you were dead," and I said, "No, I'm not dead." And explained to him what happened, and I thought that was kind of settled, and that was it. So that's when I was 11. Then when I was 14, I saw him again at an event, and I said, "Hey, Jason, it's Amy Keating." And he looked at me like I was a ghost and said, "Oh my God, I thought you were dead." And
I'm sorry.
I said, "No, I'm still not dead." And that was just strange. And then I hadn't seen him since I was 14. So come to the present day. And in 2008, I just had the funny idea of, I wonder if Jason still thinks I'm dead, even though we both work in the entertainment industry. We've never run into each other. So I decided to go on a quest to find Jason and tell him that I am still not dead. So I made this documentary. I edited it, and it was the first time I had ever done that. I had to learn how to do Final Cut. And in doing Final Cut, I used all of these images that I pulled from the internet or screen grabbed about his career and my career and all this stuff. And so I have over 100 images that I don't have the rights to. And I have 5 songs that I don't have the rights to. So I did some screenings of it, and people really liked it. I tried to get it distributed, but as much as the folks the people who watched it liked it, they figured they couldn't make any money on it, so they turned me down. Just kind of put it to the side.
Mm-hmm.
Stopped worrying about it. And actually, in 2008 is when I started writing for My Little Pony. Excuse me. So busy doing other things. And then this fandom exploded, and some folks found out about my movie because I have this music video on YouTube, and people wanted to see it. And so this guy, Osaka Jack, who's on Twitter, said, "What about doing a Kickstarter campaign?" So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing a Kickstarter campaign so I can get the rights to the music, to what else, to pay insurance and distribute it, stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So currently I'm at $14,035, but I need to get to 80,000, which means that I need a lot more money.
Mm-hmm.
I only have 13 days to go. So I am here also asking folks to please, please, please donate if they can. Any amount is fantastic. With only 13 days to go, it's going to have to be a lot in a short amount of time. But I have confidence that the Bronies will do their best.
Yes, and I've put that out in the chat so everyone can go and check out the Kickstarter. Hit the video and you can go check it out. There is as you mentioned, your rock ballad of exactly what the documentary entails. And as said, yes, 14,000 of 80,000 with 13 days to go, rather. Which, luckily for the listeners that are catching this still, when this goes live as a podcast on Wednesday, we'll still have time to jump inside of there if they want to back. And you have plenty of pledge rewards. Get this, guys. For just $10, she'll say thanks to you in the movie credits. Isn't that worth $10? Putting a smile on Amy's face. Come on.
Yeah, come on.
That's like 3 cups of coffee right there. Come on, you can drop $10 and you'll have names in movie credits. How nice is that?
Yeah, your name and lights.
Lights, and they're, you can get digital downloads or a copy of the movie. I will follow you on Twitter. There's signed stuff, T-shirts, and if you pledge buckets and buckets of money, I can sing you a ukulele song, record it for you, and I promise I'll practice my ukulele so it sounds good. You can have lunch or dinner with me if you live in the Los Angeles area. Just a lot of options depending on what folks are willing.
All right, that's excellent. So yeah, if you can jump over there, if you've got just a little bit to put forward, she's definitely got a mountain that she needs to climb for getting up here so that she can push this out and actually publish the documentary. And yeah, if you need to find it, if you are not listening to this live, just go over to the show notes over at BronyvillePodcast.com. Look inside of there. I will make sure to include a list to the Kickstarter for Jason Bateman Thinks I'm Dead. And I think the only one last thing I want to say is that I am looking forward to meeting you in Las Vegas.
Thank you. Yes, I think that's going to be a blast.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be awesome. So that will be great. We have the big convention going up with Delancey and Tara and all of them. So there are going to be a lot of faces I have not met, and I'm so excited for that. That's going to be great.
Yeah, then they're both really awesome people, and I think everybody's going to have a lot of fun.
All right, super cool. Well, Amy, I think that we have we really could go into just ages and ages and ages talking about the show, but we want to make sure that we get everybody to hit that Kickstarter and also to help you out with that. But you have been an absolute pleasure. We are going to start to wax nostalgic about today's episode and go, which is clear in your heart. It seems right out of your playbook because it's about a billion Pinkies. So that's going to be fantastic. But thank you very, very much for coming on the show. As said, it is a pleasure. We've been wanting to have one of the writers on the show. So thank you for coming in. It has been a wonderful time with you, Amy.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Hey, it was fantastic. You two want to say hello or say goodbye?
Thanks for coming on the show.
I'm just going to squee happily in the background.
As he likes to do.
He hasn't said too much because he's just been smiling like crazy.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Amy. It was a pleasure. And as said, I'll see you in Las Vegas coming up in a few months.
Hey, awesome. See you there.
All right.
Yay.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Bye.
And let's see. Gotta hit the button. All right. Excellent. That was Amy Keating Rogers. Cheers for all.
Yay!
Yay. That was awesome.
I'm glad that you are happy, Mitty, and I'm happy. That was actually a really, really good call. And as said, I will look forward to finding out what more we can talk about face to face come Vegas, because that's going to be great. I have some video content for all of you, and she's watching the chat, so she is well aware and happy for all of you cheering along. So, all right, let's go ahead and move on. It's topic discussion time, guys. We had too many Pinkies. Far too many Pinkie Pies, I want to tell you. Because that is the name of the episode. Too many Pinkie Pies.
It's a lie. There cannot be too many Pinkies. I still maintain there cannot be too many Pinkies.
All right, well, hold on. I need to pull up the details about this episode, so that way I have it easy at hand. Not too many. I can't have it at hand because that's just a freaky thing, and Twilight would zap me.
Yeah.
Well, you would have to inflate
Too Many
hoof.
Pinkie Pies, Season 3, Episode 3, written by Dave Polsky, boarded by Sibsy and
Dave Weeb.
Hello, Sibsy.
Hey, Sibs. I actually told her I thought that there were some very cool storyboarded things, like the bramble patch was awesome, and the and the little pool was awesome. Okay, so of course the basic of the episode. And by the way, for any of you listening right now, I should go ahead and preface this. We are going to talk about the episode. If you have not watched the episode and do not wish to be spoiled, you should probably stop right now, because we're going to go in depth about Too Many Pinkie Pies, give our feelings about it and how everything, what we thought about the episode. So, let's go ahead and move forward here. Of course, the basics of the episode. Pinkie wants to hang out with all of her friends and finds that she can't do it all because there's only one of her. So the obvious answer, make more Pinkie. What did you think? What do you think, Sandy? What do you think overall?
Sandy's just overwhelmed with the Pinkies.
I guess so. Or he's just modding up. All right, Mitty, what do you think?
You went full on robot there, you see.
I did want to go full on robot. I'm not a robot.
It didn't for me.
Yep. Well, let's do this. Mitty, what was your feelings on the episode?
I think it was just about right, to be honest. I mean, are we allowed to spoilerize everything now?
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, that's the reason why we gave the full spoiler warning.
Well, I'm glad that the kind of moral of the story to Pinkie was, actually you can try to do too much and have too much fun, because as soon as Pinkie realized that there were actually too many Pinkies, she was like, oh, and she really deflated and got depressed.
Even Pinkie was worn out by Pinkie.
Yeah, that's a good moral to have. Is like, actually fun can go too far.
So I like this episode.
Okay.
Yeah,
because
I did.
Why do you
even
like
if it was Pinkie, her interactions with the other characters and the fact that the clones were not as bright as the real one was rather amusing. And it also shows that Pinkie knows a lot of legends that even Twilight wouldn't apparently know.
Well, Earth Pony legends.
And them snooty unicorns wouldn't deign to know our Earth Pony legends and lore.
Uh-huh.
It is canon that Pinkie knows too much.
Just like the various interactions with her and Rainbow Dash. Rainbow Dash continued to be Rainbow Dash this episode. She wasn't mean. She wasn't a jerk. She was just sort of there. The scene at the lake was pretty funny when she did the little slow motion.
The slow motion dive was
wee. And
she does it quietly as well.
And then Dash just kind of. I loved all the times when it was just like Pinkie was extra Pinkie, and everybody just went, huh? Like the slow dive was one of them.
And Rainbow Dash even acknowledges it. She's like, "How did you do that?" She's like cartoon physics in the real pony world. What's going on?
Yeah, and then the disbelief that there were two Pinkies, and then there being two Pinkies, and just like the double triple takes.
And then there's a storm of Pinkies.
It was.
They actually call it the Pinkie Storm.
There were
clones of clones.
Yep. So let's break this down from the very beginning. Twilight is now a transformative mage, it seems, because now she tries to turn apples into oranges.
She's leveled up and she's taken the what's the specialization called in D&D?
All I have to say is that Twilight is min-maxing like crazy.
Yep.
Just like every level is just like, no, all into magic.
Well, see, initially, the first thing I saw during the cold open when she's initially doing that, Pinkie throws off her aim and she zaps the bird and it just becomes feathers. And I'm like, wow. Wait a minute.
That's dark.
And then a little bit later, yes, the little orange flies by. But I was like, wow, she totally killed that bird. And the frog gag was better, though.
Yes, the frog gag was a lot better.
The frog orange was definitely good.
I made a terrible joke. Please, if you are mildly French, don't listen to this. But I saw the orange frog, and I went, ho, it marinates itself.
Yeah.
That was a bad joke.
Yes, it was.
Right.
You're welcome. That's why I said no Frenchies listen.
Oh, dear.
But let's see. Face palms. You're welcome. But yeah, so that's happening. She goes around, tries to figure out. The big problem is that Rainbow Dash wants to hang out by the pool, or by the lake once she's done with her cloud duty. But Applejack needs help over at the barn. Both are super fun, but she can't be in two places at one time. ... Or can she?
And then she runs by, and Fluttershy is doing stuff, and that's fun. And Rarity is making pretty dresses, apparently.
So
wearing socks.
Oh, geez, not socks.
4-leg socks. Oh my gosh.
So she finds out, or she recalls, this legend of the mirror pool.
Yes.
Yep.
And she traipses off into.
Pinkie has told her. Yeah.
Yes, and traipses off into the Everfree, and no Zecora, no zebras, none allowed. She falls into the pool, which actually was a neat little set piece. I thought the background music and just the design of the area was neat, because it's not something we've seen in the show before.
Yeah, as I said, the bramble patch in the pool itself was something that looked really cool. Like the very end when they were, of course, skipping ahead a little bit, when they were sealing it up, I love the look of that. Just the way it was framed, and with all the silhouetted like black curls from the bramble patch. I thought that was really, really cool. So that happens. She goes down. Somebody can. There's not a listing here of what the particular like phrase that she said when she created her first clone. That was a real. That was
can't remember.
Yeah. Somebody in the chat will have it, and then I'll end up having a Cider clone. But I thought that the effect that they had when she first made the first clone, where she literally went in, dipped her head through, and then came out the other side and was standing in front of her, looked amazing. Like that was awesome. That whole, just like the world twisting, and then she comes out, and there she is. It was a very, very cool effect. It's one of the better ones that they were able to pull off.
It reminded me of the sequence in one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies when they're in the underworld and they have to turn the boat upside down. It reminded me of that sequence, but I can't remember which precise movie it was. I think it was the second one, maybe.
Somebody gave a list, sent a image of what they said. The word she said. She says, "Well, YOLO." Like
That's
like
right.
That's not right. That's not right.
Unacceptable.
YOLO.
Blast you, YOLO.
They get back to town, and obviously there's two Pinkies. They're both, visually identical, but boy, one of them only has a one-track mind. More one-track than...
Did you notice there one thing? Is the Pinkie that we are supposed to presume is the original Pinkie actually walked, but the clone Pinkies bounced.
Nearly everywhere.
Everywhere.
And yeah, so I mean, the basics is the entire episode was, so she then goes and is like, all right, sweet. Now that there's two of us, I can go over here and and hang out with Rainbow Dash. You hang out with Applejack. You tell me how this all turned out. We're golden. We're perfect. This is the greatest plan. Problem is, clone Pinkie number 1 runs into Fluttershy first, and Fluttershy's like, hey, I'm having a picnic with all of my friends. And unfortunately, now that Pinkie can't decide if she wants to go with Applejack or still hang with Fluttershy, which freaks her out even more than it freaked out Pinkie originally. So the obvious answer is, well, obviously we need more!
Even more Pinkies, yeah.
Yep, so more Pinkies are made, and then those Pinkies make more Pinkies, and then those Pinkies made a lot more Pinkies. And then
even more Pinkies, yeah.
15 Pinkies.
There were far too many Pinkies at that point. So, and then it became it just became nuts, where, yeah, she was just going around, bouncing around, Dash's relaxation next to the pool turned into not so much relaxation with the army of Pinkies.
I thought it was interesting. There were some people that were kind of like, oh, they didn't make all new animations. They used a bunch of rigs and puppets from previous episodes. And I'm like, that's kind of the point. I mean,
do you blame them?
Yeah, it's like, do you really think they're going to make 15 Pinkies worth of fresh animations?
Mm-hmm. I thought that some of the re-rigs were actually really good, like the Pinkie mimicking Twilight.
Yeah, that was pretty.
That was great. And Twilight is just not even noticing that there is a Pinkie directly next to her, just mimicking in time every action, every movement that she makes. And that's like 30 hours in MS Paint. No, I mean it's super easy to do in Flash once you get it there.
5 million years dungeon. No, 5 million years MS Paint. Well, that brings us actually up to the crowd scene. There was a particular gray Pegasus with yellow mane in front of the library.
Oh, Wall-Eyed Mirror. Do they still exist?
Apparently so.
Oh, that's season 3. How can it be? She was gone in last season.
Yep. You see it from behind. You don't see her face, but there's only one gray and yellow maned Pegasus. And she's already been seen in crowd shots from the previews.
Hooray!
Ooh. The Feather Prop asks Twilight's what in the wide world of Equestria is going on? Is that an ABC Sports reference or a Blazing Saddles reference? Probably both.
Sure, let's go with both.
Both. But yeah, and everybody in town, including Fancy Pants, which is probably why Rarity was all gussied up.
Because she wants to look good first.
She's like, she has to turn her swag to 11 to catch herself a rich, Canterlottian.
Yes.
Canterlotite.
Socialite. There you go.
Yeah, socialite. There we go.
That's a better one. Oh, is Amy running out? Bye, Amy. Looks like she was in the chat. Thank you very much for dropping by. All right, cool.
Yep. So yeah, he was in town. There was an old dude pony whose beard and tail was made of Pinkie. There was the Pinkie-ception where Pinkie was under a hat and then under another Pinkie.
Just Pinkies all the way down, yeah.
Yeah,
and Pinkie.
She managed to make the entire town just be like, oh, please make it stop. Please make it stop.
And I thought it was very interesting that by the point this happened, Pinkie's demeanor had just completely went completely dark of the entire fact of like, all these are bouncing around and they're just like, hey, we found this one that's just like really, really just pokes around at stuff and is super sad. All the rest of them are bouncing around. Who would be like, you know what? Let's put this one to the side. This one's different. Maybe we don't have to do some sort of crazy stuff. But
that's the broken clone they should have got rid of first.
came out of the pool and just went too cold. But so they have the entire thing. They finally figure out. They round up all the Pinkies in the best way, which is literally a roundup. The roundup scene was really cool.
That was actually
the
Applebug
season.
Yeah, the complete herd of Pinkies and Winona just bouncing on all of their heads. Applejack says something when they finally push her like like get all the Pinkies
like,
in.
That's enough, y'all.
Yeah, it's just like I loved how frustrated she was. She had something that she said. just completely sickened about just the too many of these. But so they get inside, everything is happening, and they come up with the one way that they can discern which Pinkie is the real Pinkie by having them fight to the death. And by to the death as in watching paint dry.
That was the best idea ever.
Who of us immediately like saw the watching paint dry and went, oh, that fic?
Yes, that was a fanfic.
Yes, there was a fanfic called Pinkie Watches Paint Dry. And
it was a very existentialist fic.
Yes. She had training at least.
And I did think that Twilight's complete and instant willingness to just zap
them
to oblivion the first Pinkies that got distracted.
And I mean, even a little bit. Like, not like it was like the note passers in class. It was just like, no, you were passing the note, but you were going to take the note. It's just like, no, literally the person next to me just zap. Oh, well, guess I'm in here. Guess I'm taking care of. I'm now vaporized.
And see, it's like, watch me bounce to the ceiling. She jumps up. Another Pinkie turns to the right to see what's going on.
Both
get zapped.
Oh man.
The frog orange ribbits and 3 of them look zapped.
Delicious friend, frog orange. Yeah, I mean, it made sense that they were going to come down with it. We're being nitpicky in the fact of just of how they did that, but
I thought it was funny. I thought it was an interesting way to handle it, and it was.
Are we thinking too much about pastel horses?
Maybe.
Yes, of course we are.
Just maybe.
That's what we.
That's our whole shtick.
Everybody's yelling G3 Pinkie, G3 Pinkie.
Oh
and
man, the G3 Pinkie! Can you make your face like this? And then suddenly G3 Pinkie. Oh man!
I thought that the way that they did that was good because I actually had some worry that the way that they were going to do that, depending on how what reaction was given after that, we could have had some stink, especially from the. I'm always a little bit wary of the perception from some of the older generations and things like that. If there was any sort of perception of how that scene went, of just oh, they're crapping on our old stuff, but no, it was just this one scene.
It was funny.
It was supposed to be
hilarious.
a shock, and they're just oh, and then you just went on with it. So I was happy that went properly. Yeah. The obliterating the G3 Pinkie, it was just a silly moment.
Oh come on! It was a callback.
It was.
It's nothing else other than a callback.
Yeah. So I thought it was great. I was just they unfortunately, and Sibsy was talking about it, they unfortunately completely spoiled that by putting it in some of the preview stuff.
That would have been hilarious as a kind of just sudden shock joke.
Yeah.
It was not. It was. I suppose it was just kind of one of those things they want people to show because, hey, look at the funny thing I have put in here.
Also, the one thing that they didn't spoil though was the slow motion dive. They didn't spoil that at least.
That's true. That would have been totally spoiled.
Oh yeah, the slow motion dive was great. That was actually probably my favorite part of the entire episode. Woo!
She's. Yay!
And then just slow submerge. There
was also one other thing that I thought was really kind of funny is when the mouse walks up to the clone Pinkie and offers cheese, and then she leans down and
eats something, and then there's dialogue between them, and you don't see the mouse for a couple seconds. Yeah, and you'll think, has she eaten the mouse?
But there was the mouse was back.
It was their back.
Showed everything, but it was just this moment of she ate that mouse, didn't she?
She totally ate the mouse. It's actually another mouse. She's like the clones from V.
But none of them,
lizard lips behind them.
But none of them reacted to that. Don't you think they all would have went oh?
Yeah. There's a fairly funny GIF that got made really, really quickly after the episode that Pinkie leaning down, eating something, and then it pans down and it's a piece of cheese left on the ground.
And of course, the fingers.
Oh yes, the fingers. Look what I did.
The inflatable fingers.
The 4 fingers. That was rather frightening.
Oh man.
Pinkie, don't do that. You get us closer to humans in Equestria every day. You try and do that, and Lyra's gonna hang out too much. Let's see. So we had that. They finally knocked it down, and Dash was able to figure out the last one with balloon animals. Then they sealed up the pond, and then note to Celestia, and then Pinkie went to bed.
Every pony laughs episode, yeah.
She was so worn out by herself that she fell asleep in the floor on Sugar Cube Corner. Any pony that comes in there is going to have to step around her. I mean, come on.
Even Pinkie wears out Pinkie.
That would make sense. All right, I'm gonna make sure. Just put into the chat the fic that's out there called Pinkie Watches Paint Dry. So there you go. There's your existential Pinkie Pie.
Yeah, I think it's been visited by a large number of fans today.
Yeah,
I'd be surprised. I would be surprised if it's not.
Yeah. So there's that out there. Yeah, just to loop back around, overall, I thought the episode was good.
I liked it.
I would, and that's something to say because Pinkie isn't one of Sandy's favorites. I recall.
Dave Polsky is kind of this, in my opinion, was the best of the 3 episodes that he's produced. Because in my opinion, feeling Pinkie Keen and Over a Barrel, and I maintain that the only good thing that Over a Barrel came out was Saloon Girl Pinkie and Brayburn.
Brayburn's pretty good. I don't know, that pie fight's pretty good too. That pie fight's pretty good. You can't take that away.
That is good.
You gotta share, you gotta
Pie
care.
fight's good. Yep.
That's a good episode.
Pinkie emerging from the piano.
Fluttertree. How could you... The beginnings of Fluttertree.
The truth that is Fluttertree, yes.
But yeah, I thought that was a good episode. I'm trying to like pin it around what I would attribute it to old episodes. There's so many episodes now. I'm having to like remember 55 episodes. How to do it. Oh well. Yeah, so I would just say that it was a very, very good episode. And looking forward to more of them. Next episode, get this. It's One Bad Apple. We won't go into too much territory on this. What exactly is what it's about, so no worries about spoilers.
It's gonna be one about your horrible relatives, I'm sure, AC.
Yes, totally. Season 3 season episode number 4, overall episode number 56, airing next week in November 24th, 2012. The basics is pretty much that there is a member of the Apple family is crushed the Cutie Mark Crusaders are crushed when Apple Bloom's cousin Bab Seed rejects an invitation to become a Crusader and instead becomes a bully trying to make their lives miserable. So there you go. We got a bullying one coming up and more CMCs. So look forward to that. That is next week. And we will be definitely covering that same time, same place here on the stream. So look forward to it. That must
suck if you get that name, though.
Bab Seed?
Yeah. It's like, there you are. You're 3 months old. You get the name. This one's going to be called Bad Seed. By the way, you're going to be a bully. It's like, I don't want to be bad. It's like, sorry, you have to be.
Well, it's the Wreck-It Ralph syndrome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't get to choose what you are. There has been the idea that once you get your mark, you actually like name yourself, like you actually get a proper name opposed to your given name.
If it doesn't match,
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I'm named something, or I'm named Diamond Orange, and my talent is airplanes. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah, just. It would be simply like, all right, well, your child is born. What would you like to call him? Loads of money. I don't think. It's like, all right.
Shut up! It works like that.
Is Filthy Rich taken? Yes. Dag it.
And he's loads of money, bags of money,
loads of money,
stacks of money.
Amelia Diamond. Amelia Diamond. Done. So there you go. All right,
or
so
just name him Harry Enfield.
Huh? Didn't get that one.
Yeah, he's the. What was that?
Loads of money.
That's right.
There you go.
I can't remember the name of the character though.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's go ahead and move on. Let's move forward. We got emails. These are all the awesome people that send emails across to us. Well, tell you what, should we actually, before we hit emails, should we open up the phone line maybe for a little bit? Up to you, Sandy.
Oh, how long are we going now?
Let's see. Right now, we did have Amy, so that did take a little bit. Let's see.
It's like we're already up to an hour and a half, AC. Is M going to kill us?
You know what? Let's go ahead and leave it for this week because we are still rather up there. So we'll push away and not do any calls this week. Especially since we've done a long episode, and we don't want to murder M. We did send him the tabletop, and he did render 5 hours of tabletop gaming. So you'll get that very shortly. So we won't abuse them this week. Let's go ahead and move forward to emails then. You can email across to us at bronyville@gmail.com. I will start second. I will start first. Sandy will hit second, and then M will get thirds. Dear Crystal Cider, Crystal Sandy, Crystal Knight, and Crystal guests, which by the way,
so pretty.
I would really like to see what since everyone gets all fancied up whenever they get all crystallized. I would be interested to see a crystal a crystal us.
Yes, Crystal Sandy.
Crystal, like I could see like AC with actually like nice proper hair. Chef has even better proper hair. You know, us just all sparkleized. That would be nice. Okay, let's do this. Hello once again from the Philippines. Your show's an excellent as always, since your energetic personalities and extensive pony discussions never fail to keep me entertained. I've got 3 things to say, and I'll keep them all brief. First, it was very pleasant surprise that the host of the Malaysian Brony Society podcast starred as guest recently. It was good to hear from some folks of my fellow Sea Bronies, Southeastern Asia, and more about their own audio show, which until now I've only heard of or read in passing. I'll be sure to drop them an email and begin listening to their podcast too. Next up, since friendship is now global, I have a little request. You've already featured guests from pony conventions being planned not only in the US but even Europe, such as Brony's UK and Galacon from Germany. Heck, you even had a Swedish dub voice actress a few episodes, so it seems a good reach for a worldwide fandom is constantly growing. If conditions will allow sometime in the near future, would you be willing to have a chat with some of us Philippine bronies? You could have the organizers of our PH Pony Con come and talk about planning that large event. Lastly, and relating to above, I've got a rather mundane question. What is it exactly that makes a convention a convention? Is it the guests, the program, the number of people? I'm pretty sure that the event held over the last summer isn't your usual run-of-the-mill meetup. With a hotel function room full of at least 100 bronies, a table of 4 commission artists, pastry booths, and a little art seminar, I don't know whether to classify it as a mini convention or a mega meetup due to the lack of panels, VIP guests, etc. What do you guys think of this? And that's the end of this. I hope it wasn't too long to be read on the air, but thanks for listening / reading either way. Sincerely, Spark Plug. P.S. Season 3 has turned out to be totally rad! I can't wait for the Pinkie clones in the much-awaited Scootaloo episode. Alright, that's it. That's the next email.
Tubular.
Yep. Actually, that's a really good question. So let's see. The first one wasn't a question, so excellent. The second one, send us an email. Maybe we can schedule some time. I wouldn't be against talking to some of the PH PonyCon people. But the last one that you have here is, when does a convention become a convention or a big meetup? This is actually a really good question because we've been hitting that a lot.
Yep.
So,
in most circles, a convention is a multi-day event at a hotel or event center where people stay at the hotel, and that has things like a convention track, various art or music or writing tracks, guests, dealers area. It is a big involved event. And there is a lower bound on the size, in my opinion. So I would actually classify what they had as just a large meetup because it was a 1-day thing. It looks like 100 people is good, and that's really cool that you had 100 people show up in the Philippines. But when it comes down to it, it's not quite a con. Yeah, just big meetup. I'm hearing nothing.
Well, you are the guys who know about the cons more than me. I mean, I would actually agree. I mean, if you have to pay something and it's actually bringing guests in from other places that do things to do with the show or occupation for which you are meeting up, then it's probably a convention. Otherwise, it's probably just a meetup.
Yep. All right. So
Yep, Sandy, your turn.
Is that. And so moving on, we have an email. Greetings from beautiful Minnesota, Bronyville crew. I just wrapped up my years of active Army service and made it back home in time to put on a pretty decent Season 3 kickoff party with almost 20 people on hand for the first showing of the premiere. We added an encore for late arrivals. Thought you might get a kick out of the couple photos of the pony-themed treats and pile of door prize swag. Every guest got a blind bag pony too. I'll brag that my Rainbow Dash vodka jello shots were pretty awesome, but my little sister really went the extra mile with her Fluttershy lemon cream tarts and Pinkie Pie cupcakes. The balloons sticking out of the cupcakes and the butterflies on the tarts were actually Starburst candies smooshed into appropriate and edible shapes. With all those sweets, the Pinkie Pie toothbrush toothpaste set was a rather fitting gag gift mixed into the prize pool. Anyway, I just wanted to share some of the residual festive love for the long-awaited season gets rolling. Keep up the great work, and we'll catch you on the air. A civilian, formerly known as Sergeant Dave. P.S. Episode 80 had me smiling right out of the gate, if you will, with your bad puns. Horse voice actors? Nice. And John Delancey only voiced 1/4 of a horse. Did you then say he voiced a quarter horse? Sorry, I'm done. If you guys look at the Google Doc, I have inserted his photos and his broad array of delicious munchies and Rainbow Dash vodka shots that look really good. Cupcakes and brownies and all sorts of delightful things. Also, I had a bit of a party myself last week. Local friend Zyro and a bunch of about a half dozen of us all went up to his apartment, and he and his girlfriend had laid out a spread. We had the sapphire cupcakes, some derpy muffins, some fruit snacks, and zebra cakes from Little Debbie.
What are zebra cakes?
Oh, they're awesome.
They're hexagonal chocolate pastries, chocolate brownie cakey thingies.
Oh man, they look good.
Yeah, they have like a
striped frosting.
They have like a white frosting on the outside, and they put some like black stripes on them. They're really good. And you just bite into it, and it's got a little bit of I forget. Does it have any filling? I think it does.
It has cream filling.
Oh, they're so good. I love zebra cakes.
I like ho-hos.
Ho-hos are good. Ho-hos are okay. I find the outside of a ho-ho a little too dry, though. Well, and you can enjoy your ho-hos. I'll have a zebra cake.
I like my hose.
Okay, baby. I've heard that. Moving on, Mitty. Go for your post.
I shall read the next one.
You shall.
Dear Apple Cider, Sandy, and any other pony who is on the show today. So that's hello, Amy again. I am writing in about the Games Loft game, as it has been revealed that the ending cuts off abruptly in the game. Do you think that Games Loft plans to update the game regularly with quests and new ponies, or do you think it was lazy programming with a lack of foresight? Also, what do you think Games Loft is going to do with the hackers and exploiters who have been abusing the MLP game to cheat around their pay system? If you're not familiar with these hacks and exploits, there's an Equestria Daily post on it. Your faithful student Speed Dash, also known as Fangs the Wolf.
So,
dun, dun, dun.
As mentioned, I have been playing the Games Loft game. I believe Sandy, you have as well.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm like a level 20.
A friend of mine is playing it a lot more than I am, but she's also one of those kinds of people that plays it at work and has it on her iPad.
Yeah.
Whereas I had it on my phone and it was draining my battery and I deleted it. So
yeah.
Sorry, Pinkie Pie, I can't play with you anymore.
I'm a level 27 game wizard right now, so. Supposedly once you hit about level 30 something, it's like everything requires gems. Don't you want to buy gems? Gems.
Gems.
You know,
So
it's
many gems. Yeah, so I don't really have a problem with people kind of making it to the end through unofficial means, because I do think the game was somewhat shoddily programmed. It's a Game Loft money grab game. Yes, it does have some very cute horses and it is pony themed, but it is not really that much of a good game.
Oh, there's some really like the friend integration with like Facebook and Gameloft is kind of broken, because the amount of time that you go inside of there and have to be like, all right, and now I have to relink my Facebook. All right, my Facebook is relinked. Now I need to go back to the games page, refresh everything that's inside of there. Okay, now everybody's refreshed. Now I need to go to each of my friends and drop out a chest, but each time I drop a chest and go back, it drops me into my game, not the social pane, so I have to go back into the social pane to pull up the list of people that I need to go and drop chests, and each time I drop a chest, it drops me back into my... Yeah, there's some, like, stuff that is kind of a pain.
That sounds frustrating.
It is a typical Game Loft game. So it's one of those things where the subject matter, cute cartoon marshmallow ponies running around and interacting and dancing and being really cute, is compelling because, hey, it's the cartoon characters and they're interacting and it's adorable. And then you have the actual gameplay and its requirement that to play the game legitimately costs like $100 to beat.
Ow.
Well, there's ways that you can certainly get the red gems, the ones that are hard to come by. And one of those is simply if you load up the game every day, it has like a thing, and after you start comboing the days that you've opened it, it starts giving you some of the red gems for free. Now, obviously, the thing that they want to do with those is have you purchase them, because what somebody just said, Princess Celestia is 950 gems. That will take you for... Yeah, they'll be forever.
You also have to purchase, like, to win the game, you have to purchase, like, the large clock. You have to purchase the Town Hall, which is not, like, 1,300 gems.
Ugh.
Certain ponies are X large value. Like, Rainbow Dash is apparently a lot of gems. Rarity is a lot of gems. Cadence and Shining Armor are crazy expensive, as people are saying. You can time skip it, but then you get scary trees and parasprites all up in your grill that drain your cutie mark energy thing.
That sounds like kind of way back when there was this game called E.T. that was kind of broken. And it sounds like this game is broken by design.
No, I don't think it's broken. I think it is a palette swap of other games that have come before it. Like Square Pony brought up the quality check. Is the game still fun without the art assets? I'm not sure it is. Because
I'm gonna say no.
Because half of the fun is the fact that literally you bring new ponies into the town and they all just dance around and have silly fun. And you're watching them and they're interacting and you're like, this is actually like kind of cool. You know, the characters from the show are actually like there and they're like interacting and talking. And it does have the voice actors from the show. So Rainbow Dash
kind
is
of neat.
Like, it's kind of cool because you're just like, oh, sweet. You know, it's some new stuff. But, you know, if I do play this legitimately, I can see where I'm going to hit a wall where it's just like, I cannot move forward because you still want me to, you know, to start purchasing into this. And it's just going to be a grab of every single day. A new mountain will be built in my town that I'm going to have to build to get you know, more gold to remove this rock that just showed up today.
Yeah. So actually, and this is one of those things where you find new solutions to deal with nonsense like that. If you clear an area and don't build in it, the rocks will appear. But if you put like a checkerboard of roads, so there's only a single build square available, nothing will happen. You'll have a checkerboard of roads, and scary trees or rocks won't pop up.
That seems like having to spend money to try and prevent something that's just a pain.
Yeah,
No. There's trees that come with the land that you can store and then move them into those blank areas that you purchased, and then stuff won't appear.
Well, sometimes. I mean, I've had vines pop up in places that were like right next to trees and things. I'm just like, eh. The vines go away quick. It's just like the massive, like, you need 16,000 gold to try and remove this massive boulder that wasn't here yesterday.
Hey, I'll have you know that equestrian explosive permits are really expensive. So, yeah, the game itself, the ending isn't there.
I don't think they'll ever patch in, like, I think that is the ending.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the way these games are push it out, they get a huge hit, and then they are dumped 3 months later and they've moved on to the next game.
Well, yeah, because people aren't supposed to have been able to beat it yet unless they dumped a huge amount of cash, which for them, they don't care if you've dumped $100 into their game and then you realize there's not really an ending, but you can get Celestia and Luna and Shining Armor and Cadence. But then you've beaten the game, and what else is there to do except watch your horses run around and be cute?
I like cute horses.
It's like a very, very expensive version of desktop ponies.
Yeah, maybe I should see if there's any way I could, like, I shouldn't say it. Kind of wish I could like figure out the way, but yeah, the I would like to have it. I mean, I like it in so much of like I've like started to build the town and like figure out how I want to play things, and I would love it to be all opened out so I could build it and be like, all right, so over here's where I'll put all the Apple family stuff, and over here would be the town center, and here's the market row. Like, I would love to have it all opened up so I could like actually plan it and kind of build it as my own town. But it's constantly just this money grab of like, okay, all right, so there's a spooky tree that somehow is here, and time to get rid of spooky tree. Some of the stuff is very, very is kind of silly. I am pouring a lot of time into it because there is something very satisfying of just being like, all right, one more quest. I just got to start getting towels. Yeah, and a Missing Pony said, yeah, I can move and replace things in my town, and I've been doing that a lot, like rearranging things. I will have to say, and Mitty, this is probably a perfect example of how much of like a ridiculous grab the game is. There is a long, extensive storyline about you getting Applejack back in like the game of just like, all right, well, you got to get this. Well, maybe tell you what, we should probably get some carrots and stuff because carrots are important. We should get some grain. We need to clear more space. Tell you what, bring Big Macintosh in, and actually bring in Apple Bloom too. Actually, why not bring in Brayburn as well? You're just building all this stuff over and over and over, and all the while in your thing, it just says, there is the price thing for buy Applejack, where you could just go and buy her. And the terrible thing is that, spoiler for anyone playing the game, once you get to the point where it's like, okay, you should buy Applejack, it is, you buy Applejack. It isn't like she just comes back. You have to buy her. So you could have bought her at any point during this whole plot line about getting her back. But it's just like, no, this is the point where you are supposed to spend 8,000 bits to get Applejack to come back.
Cherry Jubilee drives a business, and you gotta buy.
I know.
Yeah,
it
sounds like a downloadable content without actually having any downloadable content.
Yeah, somebody said Scootaloo's expensive. I got all the.
She's
hearts.
50 hearts.
Hearts aren't bad if you can get friends. If you have
I
friends.
was kind of happy to see that to learn that in the flying game, she uses her own wings and not the butterfly wings.
Oh.
Well,
no.
just like in
Scootaloo could fly, cannon.
Though I do want to say, and this is terrible, when you get Scootaloo, Scootaloo's house is the clubhouse, therefore validating the orphan.
Oh no!
Oh,
she's
no.
an orphan.
Her house is the
Poor
CMC clubhouse. It's pretty.
Hey, at least that's
She's
better than the
there,
cardboard box under
shaking.
Rainbow Dash's house.
It is. It's so bad. I love Scootaloo. It's just like, you're doing it to yourself.
Oh, poor
Yeah.
Susie.
Oh no.
It was.
She's got a little. She's got a painted window on there. She painted a picture of Mummy and Daddy on it.
Oh no.
This is going dark places. Mitty, read an email.
Oh, I'll read another email then. Where are we?
Or
It was
AC,
actually-
read an
It's
email.
actually AC.
AC, save us.
Wait, I thought it
Save
was
us from this dark place.
I don't know. I don't know things
And
anymore.
she's got a piece of cardboard as a cover.
No. I forgot who read last, but whatever.
I did.
Okay, I'll do this. Greetings and salutations, Apple Cider Chef Sandy, Starry Night, Best Podcast Pony, and honored guest. For those who don't have a local comic shop near them, such as Apple Cider, they might try either Mile High Comics or DCBS. I've not used either of the sites to order comics myself, but I do other people who have used them. Okay. Although after a cursory search, I didn't see a listing for MLP at Mile High Comic site, but one could always try emailing them. Hope this is able to help at least some pony. Keep up the awesome work. Cool B. P.S. Obligatory Pinkie Pie is favorite pony, and thus I'm quite looking forward to Pinkie Pie-a-Palooza this weekend. But don't worry, AC. Twilight Sparkle and Fluttershy are tied a very close second. That is fine. Yes, and as said, had those, and I lost my my link to the other one I talked about earlier in the show. I'll have to go back to it. But yes, there definitely are places to get it, and I am looking forward because I really want to get some of those comics.
Looking forward to hitting up my local comic shop on the this coming weekend. Actually, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it's next weekend.
Oh geez.
Unless it's this weekend.
Oh geez.
Oh geez. Oh gosh. Oh geez.
Oh god, man.
I think it's the 19th. It was. I gotta find out. Oh gosh.
Oh man, have you seen the issue 2 variants that are out here now?
Yep.
Oh man, somebody just linked them. The Rarity and Fluttershy one's pretty cool, but the Doctor Hooves one. Check.
Doctor Who's with the weeping
the
Pegasus.
weeping Pegasus. Oh, Starry, take a look at
Got the
that.
extra long scarf on.
I like the Muffin Dream one. The what is that one? Double Midnight. But it's like $15 because it is totally the Brony pandering issue.
The most muffins. The most wall-eyed mare.
Then again, the Jetpack Fluttershy and Rarity covers are $20 each.
Yikes. That's a lot. Okay.
And they didn't learn their lesson.
Oh, well. Still, we're buying them in Legion, so I don't think they mind. Okay.
I think they did learn. That's the problem.
They learned that we would buy.
Hey, 100,000 episode or issue 1, that's straight to a second run. So
how many people at various comic book sites and shops are going, no, get Batman, not ponies. Oh well.
Actually, we should see if we can get our friend from Archie Comics back on to talk about how new comics can drive people to reading comics in the industry.
Should also get her back on to be like, hey, why didn't you guys get it? Pow. Or not. All right, Sandy, your turn.
All right. Greetings, villains of Brony.
Hey.
Hi. Let me entice you with a little story. Ever since my 13-year-old little sister was born, we never got along on friendly terms. In fact, it was apparent that she flat out hated me. But here's the thing. This show has actually allowed us to become more friendly with each other. We talk about ponies a lot, and she tells me how most of her school are bronies. The one time my dad went to pick her up from school, and she was standing there in a Rainbow Dash hoodie that I brought her from Equestria, LA, and said to him, I'm a brony. Of course, with her being a girl who grew up liking My Little Pony, she plays the hipster card by saying, I liked Pinkie before she was cool. She even loved this one picture of her I drew as a pony. So here's my question. Was there ever a person you knew that you grew closer to thanks to the show and fandom? Sincerely yours, Excelsior, the Luchador! P.S. Pinkie's best pony and Lyra's best human. P.P.S. Have fun at the Legion of Doom.
Do you know who I grew closer to, Chef Sandy? You.
I don't. I have to say the same, AC.
Aw.
Aw, hug.
Yep. We actually didn't know. I mean, we were passing friends, but, you know, considering the fact that we've done almost 100 episodes of a show, you know, we spend a lot more time knowing and interacting with each other now. And that's one angry child.
Yeah, I was like, that you don't have a kid, and that's not anywhere near you. And what do you know? We get along in real life too.
Yep.
That's cool. But yeah, I've also, you know, there's always the whole, I've met a ton of really cool people in this community. So, Pony has enabled me to meet a whole bunch of really cool people that I wouldn't have met otherwise. So there we go.
Yep. I mean, Mitty, I don't know if you've had anybody that you've gotten. I mean, this requires you having known somebody and then gotten closer to them, you know, because of the show.
I'm actually a curmudgeon, so I have no friends because I hate everybody forever.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
No, I have met a few Finnish guys over here who are in the Finnish Brony scene, as it were. And I wouldn't have met them at all without this. But as for people I already knew, no, sadly.
All right, that's fine.
Oh, everybody go, aw.
Aw, no friends.
Aww. No friends, no.
Well, all right, but yeah, we were able to meet together, and because of this podcast, you know, became better friends for it. So, hooray! Go
that was
us.
cool.
Yep. All right. Well, Mitty, since you are friendless, go ahead and read this email to push down the pain you feel within.
Okay. Can't do it. Howdy, everyone. On occasion, I get to catch a bit of the Justin TV stream on Saturdays, but on those rare occasions, I almost always have to step away before I can finish listening to the show. So actually, he's listening and he's just gone, and his email is now on, and he's not listening. So it's pity.
The jerk.
I've heard some of the pre and post show in these moments, and I have to say I really enjoy it. I just wish there was some way to... Hold on, I'm just about to be brilliant. What if you guys put the pre or post stuff, or heck, the entire rough episodes up on YouTube? This would allow everyone to hear the hilarity both before and after episodes while not eating up any of that costly bandwidth from your hosting site. I think that would be pretty cool. Thanks for providing very entertaining discussion and points of view to the community. 5 Iron. P.S. The invitation to drop by our show is a standing one. I'm sure we'll pest you again at some point.
As you do. Yeah, I just need to respond to you guys and figure that out. This has been busy. By the way, Mitty, you roll your words very well.
I try to.
I'm not very good at that. Like trying to see, everyone can do it but me.
It's a side effect of living where I live. They speak with R at the front of the voice, at the front of the mouth. I just can't do it, really.
Oh, I love the sound of it. I just can't do it. I have to like train for a little while to get it, and then it just goes away immediately. The roll of the R's. See, I sound like an angry small dog when. Yeah.
You have to watch more Phineas and Ferb and just practice being Perry the Platypus.
Aw, Art of the Derp, you're mean. Don't laugh and point at my misfortune. Ugh.
All right.
But should we post the stuff up on YouTube? Yeah, we have.
Don't think any of us have an unlimited content account. But
that's the problem.
I do.
Well, then you post it, Mitty.
Well, you were actually supposed to send me some of your shows from last time, so I could
download them.
Fix it.
This is what you do. You go to our thing, like Justin TV saves the thing like immediately afterwards, and then you extract it using some sort of like browser extraction tool. It gives you the FLV, and then you convert the FLV into something that YouTube can use, and then you post it.
Okay. So
yes.
I can't just like actually get it from you.
No, it's actually not easy to get. And the sad thing is that it like deletes itself after like 3 days. I have a paid account. It doesn't even keep it for a while. Just like, yay,
Damn.
we converted it. Here's your file. By the way, we delete it in 3 days.
Zoink, gone.
Oh, and somebody said that YouTube actually uses FLV, so you don't have to convert it. But yes, it just deletes them after 3 days. It's a bummer.
Yeah, you just have to kind of poke me and say, MIDI, do this.
MIDI,
I'll
do
say,
this after
"Yes,
the show.
Yeah, just actually after the show, poke me and tell me to do this, not now.
MIDI,
All right.
MIDI, poke me after the show to remind you to.
So as we are moving on to our 5-star iTunes bronies.
Yes. Forgot to get the number, but you got the people.
725 5 stars with a total of like 730-ish.
That sounds good. We'll go with that.
738 ratings, 725 of them are 5 stars. So thank you very much for that. This week we had Velociraptor, even though she wasn't quite happy with us poking fun at last week's episode. 5 Iron Brony, who we can always count on. Frank Scratch, Korap, Quill Heart, CJ Rocks, Miv852, and Daisy Azuris. We appreciate your reviews and your comments and your 5-star ratings because that pushes us up and up and up.
And who does it keep us constantly in check with?
Kevin Smith.
I
have to say though, we were up in the top one. We're always up in the top 120 generally, but we were actually in 21st, 21st position a couple days ago, with Fat Man on Batman as number 20.
Oh, we were right next to him. I had this discussion with you, Sandy, earlier in the week of just like, one day you're going to go up to Kevin Smith and be like, oh, you have a popular podcast about Batman, right? Oh, nice to see you doing podcasting in easy mode. I did it about ponies. Wham, huh? Good going on your easy mode win. Why don't you try something hard, huh?
Have a Fat Man throwdown.
It's just then Kevin Smith would be like, who the
No. He's my spirit animal, personal hero. But
so I just love it when you say spirit animal.
I actually tweeted that and then Kevin favorited it.
Oh,
it was, my spirit animal is Kevin Smith, and he favorited it.
Did that make you feel good? Did you sparkle
fuzzy
inside? Yeah.
I felt a little less dead inside.
Well,
we also want to say thank you to our donator this week from E. Leonardson. Every little bit helps. And we really appreciate it.
Yes, you rock, woohoo, and all that funness.
So, and we have finally come to the tail end of the show now, nearly 2 hours after we have started this call. Actually, 2 hours, 10 minutes since we started the call. It's time for our one cool thing. Apple Cider, you slacker. What is it?
I don't know. I'm looking. Pass. Keep going. I'll find something.
All right. Well, my one cool thing this week is Pixel Kitty's reaction comic for this week. There's 99 problems, and Pinkie is every one of them.
That's pretty good.
It is really funny and kind of dark, and the horrifying head crab Pinkie that ate Scootaloo. What the heck?
That's pretty terrible.
Pixel Kitty's comic world is a little bit darker than the one we have on the show, but we love her anyway.
MIDI.
What do you got?
Well, relatively topical at the moment. 2 friends of mine, one an arty type who also writes, and one a writer type who attempts to art, have joined evil forces to produce mylittle.vaulthunters.tumblr.com, which is, this actually is the mod blog, but there's going to be the actual My Little Vault Hunters graphical novel is what they're describing it as, popping up at some point. So let's see how far they take this. It sounds neat, and I like Borderlands. So
and the 2 illustrations they have there look quite nice.
Yeah.
Let me find something. Here, I'm gonna use this thing I just found on the front page of EQD called the Pony Destiny Generator. I've never run it before, so I'm just gonna run it right now and see if it's any good. Alright. Oh man, it's got some sounds. And alright, what do I do? Hold on, I gotta hit all these things. You are Diamond Shy, the magical librarian destined to light gems. What? Alright, hold on, let me reset this. You are Chancellor Spoon, the annoying Pegasus destined to discover mares. I kinda like this, hold on. You are Fluffy Spoon, the spicy Pegasus destined to eat Canterlot.
I am Fluffy Cadence, the shy man-child destined to shove little girls. Unacceptable.
Hold on.
This is obviously a very tongue-in-cheek.
You are Cloud Pie, the sparkling earth pony destined to
Abel,
eat the crystal heart.
Dragon destined to love neckbeards.
Oh Lord!
I picked well.
Wow.
Hold on, I gotta do one more. I am Silver Tiara. Oh boy. The purple background pony, destined to compete with potions. Alright. So check that out. That is the My Little Destiny Friendship as a Random creator by Technocult. That's really random.
Oh Lord.
Yeah.
Apparently I'm Fluffy Sombra, the pink magician destined to bake potions.
There we go.
That was a good late second poll. So
there
I'll
we
add
go.
that.
You totally pulled it off.
Yay. Desperation roll. I was able to pull it off. Hold on. Let me.
You rolled edge on that one, AC.
This is just Insta fanfic generator, this one, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. Do you need to know the background for your OC immediately? Here you go.
All right. So while AC is typing that into the Google Doc, it is now time to wrap up the show.
It is.
Yes, it is. So, as always, thank you for listening. You can always find us at bronyshow.com or bronyvillepodcast.com. You can always contact us at bronyville@gmail.com. Join us every Saturday, roughly every Saturday, noon Pacific at JustinTV/Bronyville Podcast, which we had a pretty nice group today, about 160.
Woohoo! Good going. You guys rock.
We would really like it if you would pimp us to the conventions, because we really like putting on shows and really like doing panels because we're fun guys. And we want to get out there and put on a show for you. So let your conventions know that you would like to hear from these guys and have them do panels. And if you need a pony panel done, we can be your guys.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing one upcoming at Further Confusion, and then as said, there's other conventions that are coming up that are going to have at least one or more of us still silly, fillies around just being us. So,
you can also listen to us on Celestia Radio every Tuesday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 6 p.m. Eastern, 11 p.m. UTC. You can follow me on Twitter at Chef Sandy and AC here.
Hey, I'm at Bronyville.
All right, and I am the leader and financier of the North Texas Bronies.
And I pay for that Bronies in Northern California thing. I should go to more of those.
Yeah, so should I, because it's like, we've had we've had 49 meetups since the group has started, and 9 of them queued up, and I've managed to attend probably a fifth of those, maybe.
49. Let me see, because the Bronies of Northern California are having an event nearly every day. We have had 126 meetups in the past.
Wow.
Yeah.
And I'm at 303, so
now I'm at 652.
My group is not nearly as big.
We have exploded, but that is because we Californians are crazy. So.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's see. That takes care of us for episode number 81. I'm glad that all of you are able to go in. Again, thanks very much to Amy Keating Rogers for coming in and talking about it. I'm looking forward to talking to her in a few months over at Las Pegasus Unicon. That'll be great. And as said, but it was great to talk to her now and hear, what insight she could give us about how, she's made this and some of the other shows that she has worked on possible. And very, very big, all of you guys, if you got the time, if you got the effort, go over and give her a little bit of a nudge on that Kickstarter. She could definitely use it. As usual, I want to go ahead and thank Mitty for showing up. Thank you, Mids.
Thank you. It was fun.
Oh boy. Can't bring him back. He always does that.
Thank goodness Starry's not in the room where you just have to.
Yeah, really.
You'd never be able to stop it.
I'm sure she's looking at like cute animals or something right now. She's distracted.
Well, if she was looking at cute animals, she'd be squealing.
Yeah, that is true.
So she's probably looking at ugly animals.
Oh yeah, ugliest. Something about Luna.
Or going fun.
Hey, chef, thanks for coming by and bringing thunders.
And always count on me, AC.
I know, most dependable of co-hosts. All right, and I also want to go ahead and thank all you awesome listeners, be it if you're listening to this via iTunes, podcast aggregation, whatever system that you use, or if you've jumped in live to our Justin TV chat. It's awesome we do this every week for you guys because we love doing it, and we love doing it because all you guys are just such awesome fans, so thank you very, very much. We'll be back next week talking about bullies for an episode number 82, but till then... Sleep well, every pony.
Adios.
So long.